A group that wants to split Washington into two is set up at the Spokane Interstate Fair. This is after a petition circulated online to stop them from being there. The petition failed, and supporters of the Liberty State are getting the word out about why they believe Washington should be divided. Working for you, 4 News Now reporter Eleni Dow live at the fair on the controversy and what each side had to say.
Thank you, Nia. The petition actually had more than 1,000 votes, but the fair director tells me that this booth has the right to be here, as does any other political booth that's at the fair. Each vendor at the fair has to go through an application process to set up camp.
We're looking at what spaces we have available, and of course we do respect our vendors' freedom of speech.
As every other vendor, Erin Gertel tells me she feels like the Liberty State booth had a right to be there.
They met our guidelines. You know, we have a number of political parties here, religious groups, along with our food and commercial vendors. So we expect everything will go just fine. They know what our rules are.
Spokane resident Jessa Lewis started the petition and was disappointed with the overall outcome as she grew up with the fair.
It's concerning me that the conversation's now becoming how divided we are, and us versus them, and I don't see the movement towards a 51st state helping to address any of the core issues that we're actually facing as a community and a country.
On the Liberty State website, it says they will have lower tax obligations, limited government, economic prosperity, and a greater amount of freedom. A message that they want others to learn and think about.
There's a lot of differences between the east and the west side, particularly in the 5 counties around Puget Sound, and the values are different. I think the economies are quite different, and I think that we can support ourselves quite well.
They spoke to William Smith for quite some time, and he eventually signed the petition in support of Liberty State.
Oh, I think it's okay for them to be here. All views need to be represented, and if they're excluded, then their view is not represented, and so they need to be here.
While there was an outcry against the booth being at the fair, Lewis says how everything went down, that's just how it all goes.
I understand that we have to respect constitutional rights, even for those who will seek to strip us from our own rights and the Constitution. That's one of the challenges and beauty of the system that we're a part of.
So as Gertel says, there are guidelines and she feels like everyone will follow them. Live out of the Spokane County Interstate Fair, I'm Eleni Dow, 4 News Now.